All right, here we go. HTML number 7. This is about image tags. It's all about putting pictures on a web page. And on Google Classroom, there will be this handout that has all of the instructions. And down toward the bottom, it has an example of an image tag and what it looks like, which I'm about to demonstrate. And it has an example here of an image tag with a width option that you can add if you want to. And I think it's a good idea to have that width option in there. You'll probably see me do it in this movie. All right, so everything's here. I'm going to go over to code.org and get started on demonstrating this. When you're on code.org, this is one you do from scratch. So I'm going to click on Projects. I'm going to click on View Full List, and I want the Web Lab, and that gets us in the right place. The next thing I'm going to do is up on the top left-hand side, I'm going to rename this, and I'll just call this IMG Tags. That's what we're going to be doing, image tags. So I'll save that name. All right. Now, before we actually start coding, we need to go collect a few images. And I'm going to open a new tab. I've got a Google, I just opened a tab in Google Chrome, and I'm going to click on Images on the top right-hand side of my Google Chrome window. And I'm going to search for, I can't talk and type. Oh, that's why I'm not finding what I want here. I'm going to get images of the Mars Perseverance rover, which launched recently and is going to arrive at Mars in February. It's going to be another Mars lander that's going to rove around and take pictures and send back samples and things like that. So I'm going to go with that. You can use whatever school-appropriate images you want. The goal is 5 of them. I want 5 of them. All right. Here is a tip. On Google Images, I'm going to go over here to just under where you search for it. I'm going to go to Tools. I'm going to go to Size. And I don't want huge pictures here. Great big, wide, tall pictures aren't going to work all that well for what we're doing today. So I'm going to set this on medium. And what it will do is kind of put the medium-sized pictures toward the top of the search. And you can tell how big a picture is if you, like, for example, on this first picture that I have right here, if I click it, and then I look at the image preview that I get over on the right-hand side, and I float my mouse over that, in the bottom left-hand corner of that image preview, it's telling me 796 by 417, and that's an okay size. You don't want something that's like 3,000 by 2,000 or 5,000 by 4,000. You get those great big images, and they're going to be code.org can't handle them. Probably they're too big for code.org, and then we just don't need images that big. So watch the dimensions. Float your mouse over the picture, and on the bottom left-hand side, look at those dimensions. If you're under 1,000, you certainly should be fine. I don't see any problem with that. So, like, if I want to use this picture of the Mars Perseverance rover, I would do a right-click, and I would do a Save Image As, and then you just kind of pay attention to where you're going to save it. Actually, to tell you the truth, I'm doing this movie on a Mac. But if you're doing it on a Chromebook, if you right-click and Save Image As, it's going to save it on your Google Drive. And if you're doing it on some other computer, if you right-click and Save Image As, just pay attention. Like right now, this picture is going to get saved in my Downloads folder. All right, well, I'm okay with that. Downloads is fine. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click Save there, and that's good. Now let me quickly grab a few more. Here's another one, and again, dimensions say 900 by 531. I can live with that. Right-click, Save Image As, and I will save that one. That one's going in my Downloads folder as well. Let's find a few more here. They're all going to look kind of similar. I'm not going to spend a ton of time fussing over. This one's getting a little big, but it'll work. It's 1024 by 576. I'm going to right-click, Save Image As, and I'll save that. Kind of a funky file name on that one. You can change the file name if you want. I'm kind of trying to hurry, so I get this demo done as quickly as possible. All right, let's do a right-click, Save Image As, and we'll save that one. And we need one more, so I'll take this one right here. Right-click, Save Image As, and we'll do that one. Okay. Got them. So those are all saved. Some of them have some kind of weird file names. They just have like numbers and things for the file names. So watch if you want to change the file names, you certainly can do that. So anyway, the thing that I have accomplished here is I used Google image search, and I found 5 images that I have saved in my downloads folder. All right, let's go back to code.org. Now again, still even before I code yet, I've got to do this. I've got to, over here on the left-hand side, we haven't talked about this panel on the left very much, where you see index.html, style.css, and then a whole bunch of empty room down here. This is kind of the asset panel. Things that you might use in a website can be stored over here. So what I'm going to do is go to add image, and I'm going to upload a file. Now, if you're doing this on a Chromebook, you would go to add image, click upload file, and then you would go to your Google Drive, and the pictures that you saved should just be there on your Google Drive. I've got to do this. I've got to go to my downloads folder, and then I can find all those pictures that I saved. Now, I don't think you can do them all at once. Unfortunately, I don't think code.org lets you do the whole thing where you select multiple files and then upload all of them. You have to do them one at a time, which is kind of a pain. All right, so I'll click on this one and I'll click open, and it gets uploaded. Now, I can do this. I don't have to close that dialog box. I can just click the upload file button again, get my next one, click open, and I'll upload file, and I'll get my next one, and I'll click open. There we go, upload file. I really probably should have renamed these because they have these really cryptic file names. It would have been smart of me to rename them, but I didn't do it. All right, so I've clicked upload file, and I've uploaded all of those files. So now I can just go ahead and click the X on this manage assets panel thing, and you'll notice over here on the left hand side that all of those got kind of sorted. They're sorted out by file name, but they're all over here. All these pictures are in my assets area, my assets panel. All right. Well, now we're ready to get to work on some coding. So now what I want you to do is work on. I've got 5 pictures, right? And I want to work on getting to. I want to write the code that will display these pictures on a web page. So what you've got to do here is go back to that index.html page. That's where we're going to put them. So make sure you do that. Click on the index.html. That's the page where we're going to write the code. So make sure you click on that, and then click inside the body and press enter to give yourself some space. Now, here's what I would like for you to do. If you want to, you could stick in like a H1 heading, and I'm going to say something like Mars rover, rover images, and I'll close that H1 heading. We know how to do H1 headings and H2 headings and things like that. So just for fun, I'll just stick that at the top of the page. That's not required on this assignment, but you could certainly do it if you want to. All right, now the next thing I'm going to ask you to do is, as we write this code for these images, let's put them inside paragraphs. Watch how I do this. All right, I'm going to start a paragraph like that, bracket, P bracket, and I'm going to press enter. All right, after that paragraph tag, this is where our new tag of the day comes in. It's an image tag. All right, well, here's how it works. Bracket, no surprise, IMG, okay, space. Now, this next little 3-letter code stands for source, and it's SRC, and be careful because so many people type SCR, and that's not going to work. So you have to be careful. It's SRC, it means source, an equal sign, and then if you'll look, there's a little pop-up on code.org. There's a little pop-up that is kind of even, it's looking over in my asset panel there, and it's showing me the pictures I have loaded. And look, there's a list of them. So I could just, let's make this easy. I could just click on that, right? I don't have to type it. I could just click on it. All right. So I've got that so far. And that's telling the tag, okay, which picture do you want? Well, I really should have renamed these, sorry, but I've got the 12417, yada, 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 that JPEG picture. Okay, hit a space. Now this is optional, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to put width equals, And this will be the number of pixels wide. Even if the picture was wider than what you can do with this width command is you can actually size the picture a little bit. You can make it a little bit smaller than its original size. Sometimes you can even make it a little bit bigger. We don't really need to make it bigger. So I'm going to say like width equals 500. All right, that's going to have to do with how wide and how big the picture is. Now I'm going to press the space bar one more time. We have one more little thing to put in here. It's called alt text. So you type ALT equals quote. And what you do is you put some text in here that tells like what it's a picture of. And what it's used for is if there's ever a time on your website when the picture doesn't work, it doesn't load, some text will appear and say what was supposed to be there. So this would be a Mars rover pic is what I'm going to say. That's going to be inside quotation marks. And I'll close that quote. And then I'm going to go /bracket. Okay, so that whole thing, if we look at that whole thing, image source equals, and then it's the name of the picture, the file name of the picture. And then width equals, and you say how wide you want it to be. And then alt equals, and it's just kind of a description. Like I've got, and it's in quotes there, Mars rover pic, and then /bracket. Now, nothing's happening yet because I got to close that paragraph. Oops, not doing that correctly. And as soon as I close that paragraph, and you see how I wrapped my image tag inside a paragraph at line 11 and line 13. I've got a beginning of a paragraph and an end of a paragraph, and the image tag is on line 12. And if we go over and look on the right-hand preview, oh, look at that. There is, that picture shows up. Cool. All right. Well, so let's cook on this. Let's go. We got to do more of them. I'm going to pick up speed. Bracket P bracket, start a new paragraph. Bracket IMG, that's how it starts. IMG space SRC, make sure you have SRC, not SCR, equals. And remember on code.org, it's going to help you out a little bit, and it's going to put the pictures there. So just keep track of which ones you've used and which ones you haven't. So I'm going to pick a picture. All right, got that. Then I'm going to put width equals, and I'm going to stick with my 500 here. Then I'm going to put alt equals. Remember, you put some quotes here, and then whatever goes in the quotes is just kind of a description. Another, I can't type, sorry. Another rover pic. Close quotes, /bracket. I don't see that picture over yet because I'm working on a paragraph that is not finished. As soon as I do that bracket /P bracket, if we go over and peek at my preview window over on the right-hand side, bingo, I've got it. There it is. So real quickly here, I'm going to at least do one more. I'll start another paragraph. I'm going to go bracket IMG SRC equals. Code.org is helping me out here and coming up with a list of pictures, so I'll pick one. I'm going to say width equals 500. I'm going to say alt equals quote rover pic 3 close quote /bracket. Close my paragraph. And again, if we look over at the preview window on the side, I now have a stack of 3 pictures over there. All right, so I'm going to finish this really quickly. New paragraph, IMG SRC equals, I'll pick my next one off of the list, width equals 500, alt equals quote, rover pic 4, close quote, /bracket, got to finish the paragraph. And again, now over on the right-hand side, I'm to where I have to scroll my page. I have to scroll it up and down to be able to see all 4 of the pictures that I've got in here. And I got one more to go. I'm going to go ahead and finish it off real quick. Bracket P bracket for a new paragraph. Bracket IMG SRC equals. And I've got my list popping up for me here. Width, can't type, sorry. Width equals 500, alt equals quotation mark, rover pic 5, close quote, slash close bracket, close paragraph. Excuse me. And then if I look over here on the right hand side, I can scroll this up and down, and all of my pictures of the Perseverance Mars rover are showing up. And you're going to know if you did your coding correctly, your picture should show up. Right? I mean, it's as simple as that. If you have coded correctly, the pictures should show up on this little preview web page that we have over here. So here is my code. All right. Here's my code. Here's my output. Happy days. I'm all done. So now, as I am done with this, the last thing I would have to do to finish it off is come up here and hit the share button, take the link, copy that link, go back to Google Classroom, submit the link for the work. Bingo, all done. It is your turn. Let's go to work.